How to Make a Killing stars Glenn Powell and Margaret Qualley, where he is an heir to a fortune and a bunch of his family members are in line. So he decides that maybe he should bump them off and claim the fortune for himself. The trailers would make you believe that this is a comedy, and it's really not. 45% by critics, 76% by the audience. I think a few people are not watching this with any clear objectivity. But James, aren't all movies subjective? Well, it's just this movie wanted to be sleek. This movie wanted to be kind of like something like a Guy Ritchie film of that ilk. And while you give me like Margaret Qualley in these dresses that I don't think that she like, they're trying to make her look like rich and something that you should aspire to. And you would think from the trailers that, okay, the premise sounds fun. He's got to bump all of his family off so that he can claim the fortune for himself. And if you looked at the trailers and you saw him kill this person, it'd be like, okay, so it's a dark comedy. I'm guessing that all the kills are going to be fun. And they're not, because a lot of them just happen off screen and it's just kind of inferred, and there's just a convoluted twist in the middle that makes you feel like, well, they were trying to make this a dark comedy, but now we're going to make it a drama. And now we're going to subvert expectations, and it just falls in. It just fell flat. This is, I don't know what this was, guys. I like Glenn Powell. I really do. And I like Margaret Qualley. And I like Ed Harris. Ed Harris has got a good scene towards the end here. But it's just not that believable. Like, you don't believe that she's... it's just dumbfounding, because you've got all the right ingredients and it sucks. It really sucks, because disowned at birth by his obscenely wealthy family, a blue collar will stop at nothing to reclaim his inheritance, no matter how many relatives stand in his way. And they just try to sell this as a fun thing, and it's not, because you realize that this Beckett guy, Glenn Powell, is just confused about what he wants, and then he's doing all these sinister things. Isn't that funny? No, it's not actually all that funny. But if they were playing into that dark angle comedy a little bit more, then you could roll with it as a satire. But you can't, because they're trying to take it seriously. They want you to buy into this character and his motivations. And then by the end, when you think that you got it all sort of figured out, they try to throw in a twist, and it's just really bad. It's really bad because it starts off in such a way where it's Glenn Powell in prison giving a narration. He's narrating the entire movie, and it's just him. He sits up on death row, the big smile on his face, talking to this priest, telling his story, and it's just not all that engaging. What a waste. I didn't like this movie. So I'm not going to bother too much with going into length here with a bunch of these aspects. I'm just going to go to my score sheet here. And acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point. Acting, it's at least serviceable. Directing, competently shot, but the story, it's got a good premise. It's just not all that. Cinematography and score, it's serviceable. Like, the story, it's got that good idea, but somewhere along the lines it just lost its way. So let's go back to the tomato meter here, and see what people are saying about this and get some kind of measure. D+. It's slick but empty and barely manages to leave a mark, let alone make a killing. Yeah, empty is a good way to describe it, because they want you to be engaging with this stuff, and it's just Bah! Chicago Reader liked it. Despite the occasionally clunky writing, How to Make a Killing ultimately sticks its landing. See, that's probably because you've got Ed Harris at the end, right? He's the big head honcho kind of thing. But even there, they admit it's clunky writing. It is. It's truly clunky. Probably because they're doing all of this flashback stuff and narration. Expect the fans here to like it. I don't expect to see somebody who didn't. Entertaining first two acts. Third was just preposterous and underwhelming. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, Mac. It had a good start, but then it totally didn't make the mark. A big fat nothing burger of a movie. Yeah, and I wouldn't even say that this is worth watching on streaming. Maybe if it comes to Tubi and you are really bored with nothing else to do, for some reason your PlayStation isn't working, you'd be like, Tubi still seems to work. I'm sure you're going to find other movies on Tubi that's more entertaining than this. It's a B-movie stacked with an A-list talent, but even as an anachronistically reasonable runtime of an hour and 40. Yeah, the runtime is like 92 minutes or something. Give it a shot, pun intended. This is a film where director John Patton Ford, Emily the Criminal, does a huge disservice to writer John Patton Ford. The script is good. The approach is terrible. And this is the guy who did Emily the Criminal. Guys, I loved Emily the Criminal. Aubrey Plaza, right? We had fun watching that movie. This one is just, yes, you felt like it was trying to be as witty and off the cuff like Emily the Criminal, but it just falls flat. It really does. And a lot of that has to do with the smile and the grin that he's trying to put on. You just don't buy it. You don't buy this scenario that they're in. And that's just about as much as I really want to say about this movie, How to Make a Killing. Watchability factor. If you are a Glenn Powell fan, you found the premise interesting, I would say that maybe that'll be enough. Maybe. Oops. Maybe. 0.5. Watchability factor. But it's not even worth that. 4.5 out of 10 for How to Make a Killing. All right, guys, if you liked what you've seen, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and hey, we just reviewed Scream 7 right here on Mirror Domains.